Camera's on.
We are live. Good afternoon, everybody. We wanted to bring you another pregame show. This is our homecoming edition, 2025 homecoming edition of the Sanger Indians. Brought to you by Cat Plumbing. Our friend Michael Berner over at Cat Plumbing joined us last week on the show. If you missed it, you can still go back and watch it. It's in the archives. But we appreciate his support, and that is our official sponsor of the pregame show. And we're getting ready to talk all things football.
And some things food.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, football and food kind of go together.
Yeah, go hand in hand.
And speaking of that, that's a perfect lead-in to you giving a menu preview of the old number 6
yes,
and their menu tonight.
My old eyes had to be able to see my phone, so I had to put my glasses on. So if you get to the game, obviously kickoff is at 7. You want to get here early for all the fun tailgating activities. The old number 6 bus is here as they are at every home game. Tonight on the menu, they have smash burgers, and their dessert of the week is a cake pop. If you get a meal deal, you get a cheeseburger, chips, and a drink for $9. Smash burger is $6. Drinks are $1.50. Chips are $1.50. So come out and support the culinary kids here at Sanger with the old number 6 parked in the middle school. It's now almost at high school. The middle school parking lot, directly across from where we're sitting.
Yep. That is where we're at. We're using a different camera this week than we used last week, so we don't have as broad as a camera scope of everything. But hopefully everybody can hear us loud and clear. I did get good feedback from yesterday's show.
Oh, good.
That they could hear us all very, very well. So that's good news.
Well, and I did just learn also, just don't lean in like this because it really blows up your face.
It's not all the candy you ate on the parade float?
I had 0 candies on the parade float. I'm proud of me, too. I was holding that last Jolly Rancher.
And then you saw that kid that looked like a little puppy dog eyes, and they're like, okay, to give us
No, I threw it at Michael Franklin. As hard as I could, backhanded with my left hand, and it just helicoptered and then fell to the ground.
That's awesome. Oh, well, if you missed out on all the fun festivities earlier in the day, it started with a 9 a.m. homecoming parade around town through the square. Everyone did a fabulous job. I tell you what, it's the first time that in my being around Sanger time frame history that it's been on a Friday. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's never been on a Friday because I don't know. I haven't been here for 100 years.
Well, I've only been here for 20, and it's same with me. It's the first time I can remember it ever being on a Friday.
And I thought it went off really, really great. I know that it wasn't everybody's favorite, but you know what? Saturday wasn't everybody's favorite either.
That's true.
Having a parade on a Saturday after a loss is not great. It also changes how we do youth football when we have to have it on a Saturday and disrupts the normality of that day. And so there's not a perfect day to have it. I mean, there's towns that do it on Sunday night, which would interfere with church services. Mm-hmm. Monday night, there are other events that go on throughout the district that make it a challenge on pretty much any given night of the week. You're going to have somebody unhappy about how you do it if you did it in one of the evenings. And during the day on a Friday you're out of school, to me, it made a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. If you can't take off, people understand that.
That's why we
But it was still a phenomenal turnout. I believe it was better than last year's Saturday parade, if you ask me.
When we got to the square, I was legitimately shocked about how many people were on the square. Because when we were coming down the access road and turned onto Elm Street, people were already right there on Elm Street lined up. And there was houses and houses. Then we get to the square, and it's just people everywhere. It was a great turnout. Parade floats looked amazing.
They did. And, you know, we always had – and the reason why I know there was a bigger turnout for the parade, especially around the square, and the number of floats for that matter, it was a sea of endless floats. And a great job from all the different participants in the parade on how well of a good job they did in decorating, because there were some creative themes out there. Under the Lights was the theme, Lights Out Cardinals. And they did a great job. But what I would say is – normally when you look at the homecoming parade and you compare it to, say, the Christmas parade, the square for the Christmas parade is absolutely packed.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Like I've driven a truck through the Christmas parade, pulling a float, and you have to be careful not to hit people with your rearview mirrors.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're up against the street.
Oh, yeah. Well, they try to start them off on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then they say, stay here, and then the candy starts getting thrown, and kids start inching forward.
Santa comes through.
Parents start following the kids, and then before you know it, they're just – and even still, Christmas parade, it's shoulder to shoulder like this, but it's shoulder to shoulder all the way down, but it's also like 10 people deep.
Correct.
So it's huge. It's a big thing.
While I'm not saying we had that kind of numbers today because the Christmas parade is very unique. Now, what I will say, though, is I do think we rivaled that number when you count everybody all the way down Bolivar Street and all the way down Elm Street. Because the thing about the Christmas parade is there's a few handfuls of people up and down Bolivar and Elm, but the droves of people are just around the square because it's at night. And the square is better lit up. It has the Christmas lights decorated all around the center of the square of the park. And when you go down Bolivar for the parade, there's not a lot of people because it's like I said, it's a few people that live there, but there's not people parking and going there because it's evening time. You can't see. It's not well lit. And I think people just feel better about hanging out in and around the square at the Christmas parade. So when you count all the people lined up and down Elm Street, all the people lined up and down Bolivar Street, I do think the turnout rivaled a Christmas parade and for sure was bigger than what we had last year. I did not realize that's not on. I don't know why that must be a big delay.
That happened to us the other day, yeah.
Interesting. I don't know why that's still there because over here it is not there. So I will make sure I put this back on that, and maybe that'll help get that off of there. Because surely it's still not saying Cap Plumbing. Maybe that's just a delay. People may not want to see our faces anyways.
I mean, Yep, looks live to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it did that to us the other day also. Oh, there it goes. Cleared.
Yeah, I've gone back to see, and it's pretty much us the whole time.
Okay, good deal.
So, all right, cool.
So, yeah, finishing up with the parade, it's not normal for what we consider normal, but I feel like it was a great idea, and I feel like it went off very, very well. It was an early morning for you and me.
It was.
Very early morning, but it was fun. And it was the first time that we've ever broadcast mobile. Again, if you're just now joining us, we're here live right now in the middle school parking lot just to the west of the football stadium. We are sitting next to the old number 6 bus where the culinary students are out cooking smash burgers right now. So come up here, get you some supper before the game. And they have smash burgers for $6, drinks are $1.50, chips $1.50. The meal deal is a cheeseburger, chips, and a drink for $9. Their dessert of the week is a cake pop for $2.50, and they have vanilla or chocolate. The bus will actually officially begin serving food. Their clock says 5:30 to 7, but if you just need a drink or a snack real quick, they'll probably go ahead and serve you. But I don't believe the burgers will actually officially be ready until 5:30, which is still plenty of time to come out here. Again, it is homecoming. The parking will get packed pretty quick, so get here early, get you a spot, get you some food, and come out and enjoy the nice breeze that's just kind of starting to kick up a little bit from these storms that they're getting ready to come through. We've checked multiple outlets on the weather apps. Most of them are saying that the rain is going to hold off just a little bit, maybe go kind of northwest of us. But as of right now, we've just got a little bit of a breeze. If you can probably hear it through my microphone. But no rain, no lightning, and right now we're a go for football. So get out here early, get you a nice parking spot, get you some food, and get ready to watch our Sanger Indians take on the Pottsboro Cardinals.
Apologies for that.
No, you're good.
Anyways, you finished up the parade talk and then talked about the pep rally?
I did not get into the pep rally yet. I just went back and gave the menu again and try to encourage people to get here early because it is homecoming and it's going to get packed.
So after the parade, we all reconvened over here at the stadium and celebrated the different teams, football, volleyball, as well as the cheerleaders all the way from mini cheer, which is 4 to 6-year-olds, all the way up to 6th grade cheer, middle school cheer, and JV and varsity cheer. All did some performances, and they did a phenomenal job. I thought it was very well organized. And I know there's a lot of time and energy and sweat and tears that go into those young ladies making their performances, and I thought it went off very flawlessly. I know they stress about some of that, but they did a phenomenal job. A few of the captains from each of the organizations spoke, and then they announced homecoming court, did the freshman princess and prince and so forth all the way through, including the homecoming king and queen nominees, and a lot of tough candidates. I mean, if I was in this high school having to vote, it'd be a very tough vote. There's a lot of great young ladies and young men nominated this year for the homecoming king and queen. Not that it's ever an easy year, because I'm sure all the students that are nominated are pretty popular, but this year it's definitely, I knew all the kids, and a lot of times I don't know some of them, and so I was like, man, that's a tough crowd. So congratulations to all the nominees, regardless if they win or lose tonight. That's an awesome recognition to be recognized by your peers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the faculty or me or you that has anything to do with it. It's their peers. It's the fellow students.
Yeah, if it was you and me, we would win. just
every year, it'd be weird.
Just for the record, I'll take queen, I guess.
But anyways, the pep rally was great. The weather was great. It was a little bit overcast. No rain. It really wasn't that hot yet. It's cooling back down now. Matter of fact, it was hot when we got here. We talked about it. And now the wind's picked up so much, I'm worried about our canopy flying away.
The paper towels that you just picked up was what I was using to wipe the sweat off my forehead from the humidity when we were setting up. So back to the pep rally before we change subject. The only athletes that were not there was cross country, because from the note that we got from Coach Sykes, they were dominating at the pre-regional meet today.
Go for it.
So the cross country pre-regional meet was at University of Texas at Arlington today. The varsity girls placed 8th out of 49 teams.
Wow.
Yes, 49 teams. They placed 8th. Farrah Huey placed 7th overall, and Ashton Grawl placed 15th. The boys were at the exact same meet. The varsity boys got first.
I'm assuming that's also out of 49 teams, probably?
Maybe 49 and a half. Yes.
But first is first.
First is first. It doesn't matter if it's one team or 49 teams. They got first. Boys placed first.
And you can see why, too, when you look at the individual performance.
When you look at the individual performance, Daniel Martinez is 1st overall. David Martinez is 4th overall. Travis Martinez, 13th overall.
I see a trend here.
And Bryden Mead, freshman, 14th overall.
And we knew he was going to do big things. We used to go to the middle school meets, and he would dominate in the long runs.
He would sprint the entire thing, and we're still waiting on Caleb to come in. And, Caleb's still getting pretty good time, but we're still waiting for like 15 minutes by the time Bryden's done doing. So he did great.
How many athletes from each school compete in a cross-country meet? Because I don't know the answer to this question.
I honestly don't know. I couldn't tell you. I'm
6-ish?
I'm saying 5 to 6-ish. Okay. Plus, I'm sure they have
reserves.
If
you have 49 schools and you have 6 athletes per school, say 50. You're talking about 300 athletes,
kids.
And we had 3 in the top, or 2 in the top 4, 4 in the top 14.
Yeah, 4 in the top 14. Yeah,
that's impressive. And you know what? Every single morning when I bring crews over here to work out for football, the cross-country athletes are already at it.
Oh, yeah.
They've already been dropped off by their parents, and they're already training. They put in the work. These coaches do really good job of doing diligent training programs for them. It is a really good team effort. And to be a runner, you have to love the sport. It's not something that you can just halfway go into. It's got to be something you do every single day, because I'm not saying any sport that you can halfway do it, but cross-country, you got to love running. I personally don't love running.
No, I like to run my mouth. That's about as far as I'll go.
I'm right there with you. But these young men and young ladies love running. I see the passion they put into it. I will come drop off crews at 6, right? And then I leave. I go back home. I get Dax. I get him settled, and I come back around 7. And then when I'm going back home down Willow at 7:15, they had started training at 6 a.m. And they're still training, running up and down Willow Street, their little routes or whatever they take at 7:15.
I think Jenny leaves the house around 5:15ish in the morning to get Caleb up here, and he's up here every school day morning, running and running and running. And then he competed today and was disappointed in his own time. So I love the fact that it's not just my own kid. It's you ask any of them, and it's even when they PR, a lot you talk to them, it's still not good enough for them. And that's a great attitude to have, because in cross country, you're competing against other schools, but in a sense, you're also competing against yourself, because you just want to try to PR every single time. And a lot of these kids are doing that, and you see the results of what they're getting on, not obviously just the boys' side, but the girls' side too. of the girls finishing eighth out of 49 teams, that's still phenomenal.
Absolutely,
that's
it is.
absolutely phenomenal. So congratulations to cross country today. It was a great meet.
They did. I did see some of the cross country athletes walking in during the pep rally. They had to miss the parade, but they were actually I saw one of the female athletes for cross country actually walk into the stands during the pep rally. So they did get back in time. At least some of them did. I don't know how the travel coordinations for that works, but they did. Some of them did get back in time for some of the pep rallies. So that's awesome that they were to come back. And you know, I'd be tired. I'd go home and take a nap. But they chose to come back up here and support their fellow athletes in other sports.
I would probably still be napping.
Awesome. We just got the link for tonight's broadcast that we'll share out here from Mr. Rowe in the audio video department. So thank you for that, Mr. Rowe. And those that don't know, this production we're putting on right now, it's just done by me and Brett. It's one camera. We don't have a team of people. We're not professionals, as most of you that have watched for a long time already know. But we try to do our best. We try to learn as we go. We try to invest in equipment. We've definitely made some investments this week and improved our equipment drastically. But the production you see when we go out there and broadcast the home football games is run by the audio video department. All we do when we go into that press box is put on a pair of headphones, bring us a roster or two to talk about the rosters, and that's it. The entire video production, the sound, everything you hear from them, how loud we are, how low we are, the game clock, the score, all that's managed by these phenomenal, great students that are in the audio video department led by Mr. Rowe. And we are super appreciative to have them because without them, there's no us.
Right. And it's a full-on production. It's not just, you know, a couple of kids with cameras. I mean, they have very high-quality equipment, and that's one of the things that we haven't made our announcement yet, and then we can go ahead and make this announcement.
Yeah, great timing.
We are going to add this year. We mentioned last year we gave away $5,000 in scholarships, and our goal this year was to be able to double that and do $10,000 in scholarships. And would you say we're about this close?
Very close.
We were this close. I have no doubt in my mind we're going to be able to do that. And so in doing that, we are going to add in a $1,000 scholarship to an audio video student because obviously it's not just our way of saying thank you. There are some kids that are going to go into college to continue that career.
Correct.
And what a better way to help them out and boost them by rewarding them for something that they deserve. So we do, it's Sanger Sports Corner, but David and I, it's not just sports, it's the students as a whole. We try to do as much as we can for all the students. So, and with as much as the audio video does for us, that's the least that we can do is to give back a little in that form. So
Agreed.
It's something that we're super, super excited about this year.
And another thing I'll add to that is I lost full train of thought. I don't even know what I was going to say. You said something that triggered me to say something, and now I don't remember what it was.
Scholarships, audio video.
Shoot.
Cowboys getting beat by the Eagles. No, that wasn't it.
No, that I don't know that we've mentioned the donation that we made to audio video yet on air. I know that we did it, but
I have not. I've never mentioned that to anybody, but that was.
So we wanted to. They a lot of the stuff that they are able to get, their equipment wise, is funded by donations, and so we wanted to be a small part of that because they have some things that they can do that's above and beyond the call of what the education system can provide for them. So we donated $1,000, correct me if I'm wrong?
Yes.
$1,000. He's our treasurer, so I have to vow to him on that. But we donated $1,000 at the beginning of the school year just as a big thank you from us to them that we could give back to that great organization that does what they do day in and day out. They continue to get better. They're learning. And the one thing that I'll say about Mr. Rowe is each year he's probably dealing with a whole new group of students because he may not have that many kids that are returning back to the audio video.
I only recognize one kid from this year that was there last year.
Yeah. So kudos to him getting each of these kids trained up and ready to go each time. It's not easy work, and we are very appreciative of what he does and what those kids do.
And it's not like he just sits in the booth and says, "All right, kids, y'all go do your thing." I mean, he is bouncing all over the place. He's up top on the video deck. He'll come check on us. He'll check on the kids. He's bouncing back and forth all over the place. He's usually the first one in there and the last one to leave. So the audio video department as a whole should get a lot of credit, and we're glad to have them on our team because they're very helpful to us and be able to bring the broadcast to y'all on all the home games.
Very good. So there was something I was going to go into when we were talking about, so we finished the pep rally. After the pep rally, I walked out, was talking to Coach Rogers, talking to Miss Flaw, just about how great everything went. And then she happened to point out, and I don't know if you noticed this or not, she goes, and we even got our new sign up.
Over the entrance?
Yeah.
I did notice that.
I did not notice it until she said it.
As a matter of fact, Keegan is the one that pointed it out to me when we showed up for the pep rally.
So if you did not know, it says Stephen Baker Field at Indian Stadium. And that's the new overhang. You can barely see it in our background of our video, kind of right in between our heads back there in the back. It's not great visual, but you'll see it when you get here tonight.
That wind is really picking up.
I know. But I am super excited that we were able to get that done. It pays homage to Stephen Baker. Stephen Baker Field has been over there forever out on 35, and this is a way of continuing to honor his name for everything that he stood for from that great class back in the day, and we're appreciative of the Stephen Baker Foundation. They are in the process of raising money still to put up a statue over there near the concession stand of Stephen Baker. And so,
and not to take away anything from the original Stephen Baker Field.
No, not at all.
It's not really used by the school district anymore. So the I guess conclusion and wasn't really a compromise, it's just a conclusion they came to is they want to continue to honor him. So now we have, as David said, Stephen Baker Field at Indian Stadium.
Right.
Well, I got one quick story to tell. We got these wonderful hats, these nice little Sanger logo hats, and I have two, you have two, and I now have one because I got to go have a grandparents' lunch with my grandson today, and sitting in the cafeteria with him, he just looked up at me, went like this, took my hat off his head, stuck it on his head. 4 years old, and he hasn't taken it off since.
That's awesome.
So I'm down one hat. So we
There's
have
a Whitesboro Bearcat wearing a Sanger Indian hat.
Whitesboro Bearcat wearing a Sanger Indian hat.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Well, if you want to dive into our stats preview for tonight.
All right, so we'll jump right into the visiting Cardinals. Pottsboro colors obviously are going to be red and white. They are 1-0. Their key players right now, obviously they have a quarterback. He passed for 278 yards last week, David, 2 touchdowns with a 160.2 quarterback rating.
Holy wow.
Yes.
Okay.
He was
very nice.
20 of 22. And you'll never guess who their leading rusher was last week.
Probably also Humphrey.
It was also Humphrey. 16 carries for 68 yards. That's 4.3 yards per carry and 2 touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns last week, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. Their next leading rusher from last week's game was their senior, number 5, Nix. He only rushed for 41 yards, but as a team, they rushed for 139, passed for 278. Leading receiver caught 105 yards on just 5 catches.
Nice.
That's
good work.
That's good work. Leading tackler for last week that we need to keep an eye on for Pottsboro is Burdette. He's a junior. He led the team with 13 total tackles. 6 of them were solo, and 1 tackle for a loss. Next leading tackler was number 18. He's also a junior. His last name is Ehrman. He had 10 tackles. 7 of those 10 were solo tackles. So they got a couple of defensive studs that are going to be all over the field tonight that is going to give our offensive line a little bit of work, but it's nothing that they can't handle. Jumping into Sanger stats from last week. We can start off by our House Carts player of the game went to – is that – that's my wife trying to get in. I completely got lost for what I was even talking about. Leading rusher last week for Sanger was Reggie Jones, and our guessing stats were pretty good because we came up with 150, and he had exactly 150 yards on the ground with just 22 carries. Reed Sebastian had 2 touchdowns on the ground with 10 yards rushing. Austin Martin put up 72 yards of his own, and I think 72 of those, or a lot of those 72 yards came in the third quarter whenever we switched to the Wildcat for just a little bit on the offensive side. Your leading receivers for last week for the Indians, again, was Austin Martin, had 28 yards receiving. Wyatt Pennington had 21. Defense, your team leader on tackles was Max Taylor, 12 tackles. 7 of those were solo and 1 tackle for a loss. Chris Ramirez was your third in total tackles with 10. He had 7 solos, 3 assists, 1 tackle for a loss. One thing that you don't give enough credit to for Chris Ramirez, who was our House of Cards player of the game, that's where I was going a minute ago, kickoff return yards.
Oh, yeah.
He had 3 or 4 kickoffs that were 30 yards, and then the one that was a game changer, kind of energized the team, was the kickoff return for a touchdown. And then it was about that point was they finally quit kicking to him. So, and then second leading tacklers last week was J.J. Micas, a senior. He had 11 tackles and 3 solos, but 8 assists. That means he's active. He's in on every single play. So it's going to be a tough game. We know what to expect coming from Pottsboro. You're welcome to look at all these.
No, I was just looking at, Caden Humphrey is the guy to stop from a throwing standpoint. He's the guy to stop from a rushing standpoint. He had 16 carries, like you said, 68 yards. I am really good friends with his dad, Cody. We've been texting back and forth. He's on the way here now for the game. And really great family, really good kid. Hope he has a very successful season, just not tonight.
Just not tonight. I hope all the kids have an amazing game. Hope it's injury-free, but I obviously hope Sanger comes out on the top end.
Yeah, we're a little biased.
And another thing, since everybody keeps saying rain, 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 we haven't seen any rain. We haven't seen any lightning. Everything looks like it's kind of going around us. And we want it to stay that way because we don't want to finish this game tomorrow because that's going to screw up your whole Saturday.
Correct. The local resident meteorologist that I spoke to a few hours ago told me it was a 100% chance of rain at 5 o'clock, and I'm still waiting. It's 5:22 and no rain.
Well, I felt a drop a minute ago, but I might have been spitting when I talked, so that might have been it.
Some area games to watch tonight, or this week. Some of them already been played. I don't even know who won this Denton Ryan versus Mansfield Timberview game last night, but that was one of the games to watch. Denton Braswell versus Northwest ISD Eaton High School. Number 25, Denton Geyer versus Arlington Martin. Fort Worth Eastern Hills. I went to Eastern Hills my sophomore year at Denton High. Number 8, Argyle at Midlothian Heritage. Both 0-1 starts, but Argyle's ranked number 8. Aubrey 0-1 at Kennedale 0-1. Lake Dallas 1-0 at White Settlement Brewer 1-0. Fort Worth Western Hills 1-0 at Crum 1-0. Pottsboro 1-0 at Sanger 0-1. That's right here at this stadium. Callisburg 1-0 at Pilot Point 1-0.
That'll be a good game.
Yeah. Ponder 1-0 at Tioga 0-1. And that's going to be over in Tioga tonight. That's the ones that Denton Red Chronicle has at its Denton as its area games of the week. We will be updating some area scores later this evening as well. Some other games of note. I forgot I had this, but it won't take me long to reference this real quick. As long as the speediness of the cell phone will work well for me. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. So we mentioned that one. Vernon travels to Gainesville to play the Leopards tonight. We mentioned that one. And then Paris, who we just played, they play Farmersville.
Oh.
So that'll be interesting for us to keep an eye on the night to see how the team we just played plays one of our district opponents. And then, let's see, Cedar Hill takes on Allen. That's 2 big powerhouses in 6A.
That's either going to be 7-0 or 60-59.
And then the other district foe for us is Cattle Mills. They play Bullard tonight. And then Munster goes to Holiday, another good matchup potentially. We talked about Callisburg at Pilot Point. Howell goes to Bonham, one of our district mates. Let's see here. Alvarado goes to Van Alstyne, another one of our district opponents. Waco La Vega, always a pretty good school, plays at Salina tonight. And then up up north on 35, Valley View, they're hosting Santo Wildcats tonight. And I think that covers a lot of the games that are of interest of our viewers anyways.
Very interesting matchups tonight for our district opponents.
Yeah.
Very interesting matchups. I'm very curious to see how all that's going to turn out.
Should be fun stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this season. I know that last week didn't finish the way we wanted. We talked about this in yesterday's coaches show. We talked about it probably multiple times this week.
Mm-hmm.
But last week or last year when we played Paris, we lost 31-7.
Mm-hmm.
And we lost by 7 points, and we were tied 28-28 with 40 seconds to play in the game. Less than 40 seconds, really, because they got the ball back at 40 seconds. So I'm not sure how much time was up when they scored, but it was probably less than 10 or 15 seconds. I don't think we had anything to do. I think we had a hope and a prayer left after they scored. But we had 2 drives that we talked about with Coach Rogers inside that were first and goal inside the 7-yard line that we didn't score. We had at least one other drive inside the 20 that we didn't score when we threw one of the interceptions.
I believe there was 2.
I think there was 2.
A
I think
total
there
of
was 4
4
inside the 20
yes.
and 2 inside the 7.
Yeah.
So if you change how the course of those 4 drives go, we could win it. We could have won by 2 or 3 scores.
Mm-hmm.
And it also might change the game plan of what Paris does, so you don't know what the outcome is. But we made adjustments to where our defense played very soundly in the second half. They gave up 35 points, but one of those was from inside the 5-yard line that they started first and goal inside our 5 after the onside kick was returned all the way down inside the 5. So they had a very short field on that one. And that was only one of 2 scores given up in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And
at that point, if I remember correctly, Coach Rogers wanted them to score.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the only mathematical way we could stay in it because we needed to get the ball back. And if they run out the clock right there,
game's over.
Game's over. I don't know that he told his team let them score.
Right.
I think it worked out that that's what happened. But yeah, I'm still very optimistic about this season. Paris is a 4A Division I top 20 ranked school. I think it was 16 or 18, depending on what you looked at. Pottsboro's in 3A, but they're ranked in the top 10, depending on the class, the rankings you look at. So another tough opponent. I'm glad that we schedule tough opponents. You were at the Pottsboro game last year. I did not make that one, and it went all the way down to the wire. I think it was tie ball game, less than a minute to play, and they took the lead and scored right there at the end to win by a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect another very close game. I mean,
I do too.
We didn't lose very many starters to graduation. We did lose a few key ones that obviously we're working to replace every little bit of the time we can. And I don't know what Pottsboro had from a senior class last year. And obviously their quarterback is returning because he was their starter last year as well. And probably some other kids obviously returning. But nonetheless, it was a close game last year. I expect it to be a close game tonight.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. It's going to be a good game. Obviously, it's attitude and effort. We talk about that a lot with Coach Rogers on side notes. Basically what it comes down to is I got that. Yeah. Basically what it comes down to is who wants it more. And it could be one of these games where whoever has the ball last is going to win.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
it could go either way. If Sanger shows up with the attitude that we know that they can have and that we know that they can do, I don't know if there's a team in our district or on our schedule that could really beat us.
Yeah.
It just comes down to, execution, play or running the play that's called in and staying on your blocks. Not calling anybody out, but we watched film. There's a lot of misdirection, guys running the wrong direction, coming off your block a little too quick. And a lot of that could just be, first game jitters. But we know this coaching staff well, and we know that all that was discussed. And we're going to see how the boys handle it tonight because it's going to be a good game. Pottsboro's not going to lay down.
Right.
There's no way they're going to lay down. But Sanger, from talks that we've had with Coach Rogers this week, talks that we've had with the players, they're ready. They're fired up. They want this. Even at the pep rally today, they were confident that they were going to take this win tonight. So it's going to be a good game. You still got time to get out here.
It's going to be a windy game based on this canopy about to blow over.
But you still got time to get out here. They should start serving burgers in 1 minute at the old number 6 bus. Come get you some food and enjoy the atmosphere.
I think we might do an abbreviated ending here in case this weather hits.
Yeah,
and,
I agree.
And be prepared to close everything down and then maybe get us a burger right here. We'll be hanging out if anybody wants to come by and say hello.
Yeah, we will sign autographs.
Absolutely. I think that and $5 will still buy you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. Maybe. So, again, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate everybody's support, and we look forward to seeing you all here at the game tonight.
Yep.
Thanks to Cat Plumbing, by the way.
Yes.
I know we said it at the beginning.
I do have one.
Thank you very much to Cat Plumbing and
I do want to
Church
read
of
this
Christ.
real quick.
Yes, we do have one sponsor ad that we need to read real quick.
Yeah, I need to read this, and not just because I need to, but I want to, because Church of Christ has done so well for us with being our official church of the Sanger Sports Corner. So we're going to give you a little bit of information. The Mesa Peoples did message us. They are putting together some more information for us to be able to give to the masses. So right now what we have is the Bible classes start 9:30 a.m. to 10:15 a.m. On Sundays, worship starts 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Wednesday service is Wednesday at 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then to break it down just a little bit, classes for all ages start at 9:30 on Sunday. Worship service starts at 10:30. Wednesday services and dinner. Wednesday we serve dinner at 6 and service starts at 7. The classes include a ladies class, 2 adult classes, couples class, the young adult class, the college age and young professionals, cradle roll, high school, and junior high school. So I do know that a lot of the youth around here do attend that church, and the youth program does a lot of things with that youth. They're very active in their youth. So if you're looking for a church home, and you may have young ones or middle-aged teenage kids, the Sanger Church of Christ is very active in the youth. So and they're really good people over there. So please go check them out. You can find them over at 400 South Locust Street. They're in Sanger, Texas. And if anybody says, "How'd you find out about us?" just say, "We heard about it on the Sanger Sports Corner."
We'd love for you to give us that shout out when you go by there.
Not that we don't want credit for it, because this is all God's work. Mason Peoples came to us. We want to give the Lord the credit for it, but just so that they know that what they're doing,
their money is well spent.
That their money is well spent, is y'all let them know that y'all heard it here.
Awesome. Thank you for catching that, because that was on our agenda today, and we were about to roll. We just got a little nervous about this, the wind starting to blow up. I don't think it's going to rain, contrary to the forecaster's forecast earlier that I talked to, unnamed meteorologist.
There's always a 100% chance of rain somewhere.
True, but I think it's northwest of us.
Yeah,
according to the radar.
Yeah, and there was a big old lightning strike right there.
That way.
Yep.
All right. Well,
time to
shut her down. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you tuning in.